As I've shared before, it was a sentence that introduced me to minimalism, but it was actually the question afterward that paved the way for us to begin living a more minimalist lifestyle. First, the sentence by my neighbor. I'd been cleaning out my garage. It was a Saturday morning. It had taken hours. I began complaining to her, and she responded very simply, that's why my daughter is a minimalist. She keeps telling me I don't need to own all this stuff. I've repeated that sentence 1,000 times in my head. And I remember looking at the pile of things in my driveway, my son alone in the backyard, and I had a realization that my possessions were actually taking me away from the things that brought real joy into my life. And I asked myself in that moment a question. And the question was this: what if I didn't own so much stuff? And I started to realize pretty quickly in that moment, if I didn't own so much stuff, I would free up money, I would free up time, I would free up energy. I wouldn't have to waste a Saturday cleaning out a garage. I could spend it with my son and my family instead. It was a question asked differently that changed my worldview. I spent my entire life growing up pretty middle-class American, being told constantly that your life will improve if you buy this or buy that. And it resulted in a life that was actually distracting me from joy rather than taking me to it. Reframing an issue, reframing a worldview by asking a new question. I have found it to be essential and important as I pursued minimalism. If you're struggling to own less, if you're pursuing minimalism, let me encourage you to start asking different questions. Rather than asking the question, what if I get rid of something I'm going to need? How about reframing it and thinking to yourself, what if I spend my whole life with a house full of stuff that I never use? Those possessions become a burden to us. There's a negative, there's a drawback to keeping a bunch of things that we don't need. But unless we reframe the question, we don't always think of it that way. Or what about this question when we're out shopping and we see an item on sale? Will I regret not buying this on sale? Again, you could reframe that question. Well, what could I do with the money instead if I didn't buy that item? What if so-and-so gets upset that I remove one of the gifts that they got me from my house, and then they find out? Are they going to be upset? Again, you can reframe this question, and how about this? What if your friend finds out that you hold on to a gift that you don't want just because you're afraid of offending them? If I found out someone was holding on to a gift that I gave them just because they thought they were going to offend me, I would actually be a little bit upset. I didn't give you this gift to be a burden. If you don't use it anymore, get rid of it. What if my kids get jealous of all the other kids at school? Again, you can ask a different question. What lesson am I teaching my kids if I just buy them everything their friends are getting? What am I going to do about all my partner stuff? Again, reframe the issue. What if I get started by getting rid of my own stuff first? What might that example become for my partner? Minimalism is not about subtracting things from your life. Minimalism is about what are you adding to your life. And sometimes we just need to ask different questions about our stuff because it begins to spark a brand new worldview that helps us live more focused on the things that matter most. One last question for you. Rather than asking, yeah, but what if I fail? Start asking yourself, yeah, but what if I succeed?